Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face get ready with me holiday makeup tutorial featuring this look that I just created using the Anastasia Sultry palette. This party look is all about the eyes, as you can tell. We've got a nice nude lip going on because we don't want our lip to be in competition with the eyes. And then of course the skin is really glowy, really dewy, youthful looking, not dry and cakey. So we're using a lightweight foundation. We're using some nice highlighters. The rest of my face makeup is all fairly high-end makeup to go with the Sultry palette. But don't worry, drugstore people, I am going to be recreating this look in all drugstore makeup next week. So if you want to see the exact same look with like the blingy silvery eye, let me know. And if you want to see a different look, maybe a taupe or something, or a pinky look, let me know that too, and I'll see if I can dupe this look from the drugstore. So let's go ahead and start the tutorial. I think we're going to do the eyeshadow first today because there is some fallout with the Sultry palette. So we're going to do that first so that we don't ruin our foundation. So for the eyelid primer, I'm going to be using Too Faced Shadow Insurance and just spread that on both my eyelids. All right, now we'll add a little face primer. I'm going to use the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. I've been really enjoying this a lot lately. It kind of looks like Elmer's glue. It's white, comes with a little dropper. I'm not going to drop it on my face. I do the same thing that I do with everything, just put a little on the back of my hand like this. That's about all I need for my whole face. I don't really prime my entire face. I just use this to disguise some of the texture, especially on the fronts of my cheeks where I have enlarged pores. And I also use this as under eye primer for my under eye concealer to help that last a little bit longer. More up here where I have this, what do I call it? My orange peel skin. And then the last little bits I put down here on my chin. So as I said, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Sultry palette. I'm going to use the brush that came with it because it is a really nice usable dual-ended brush. And first I'm going to use the more all-over lid shader brush. So the first color we're going to use is Fresh. I'm just going to pick that up on both sides of the brush, give it a little tap, and then I'm going to apply that on the movable part of the lid. Beautiful eyeshadows to work with. And I'm going to take whatever's left on the brush and I'm just going to put it underneath my brow bone. Next I'm going to use the crease end of the brush and I'm going to dip into the color Twig. And I'm going to start at the outer deepest part of the crease and just draw that in at an angle down to my lash line. And that's going to start to create the shape of our outer V. And then I'm just going to use circular motions to blend that across, keeping it mainly in the crease. I'm going to use my Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush to blend that out a little bit. And what we want to create with this eyeshadow is an upward motion at the outer corner of the eye, so it lifts the eye. So instead of having kind of our corners drooping down, we want everything to go up. And so we're going to try to create kind of a straight line across here. I'm going to grab my MAC 221 brush and I'm going to go back into Twig. I'm just going to take a little bit of that right on the tip of the brush. Then I'm going to look straight into my mirror with my eye open so that I can see where the hood is, where to make it recede. So I'm just going to draw this as a straight line just to really reinforce that shape. Go back to the Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush and I'm keeping that deep in the crease and just blending that out a little bit across onto the movable part of my lid, just coming to halfway across my lid. And I'm keeping this area right here under my brow nice and bright and light. Next, I'm going to use a Morphe 167 brush and I'm going to dip it into Slate. I'm going to pack that at the outer corner of my eyelid, just from the crease down onto the movable lid. And I'm only going to do about a third to a half of the way across. Go back to my Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush, blend it where it is. Next I'm going in with a Sigma E36 brush and Dystopian. I'm going to put that deep in the crease. And going back to the Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush, blending that out. Next I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics crease brush. I'm going to dip into Birch. I'm just going to put that above the crease, kind of warm this up a little bit. I'm just using a very light feathery stroke. I'm not really pressing hard. And then we are going to go into Cyborg. So I'm taking a Sigma E56 shader brush and dipping into Cyborg. I'm going to apply that at the center of my eyelid. Ooh, look at that. Windshield wiper it into the inner corner and out over some of the dark parts. And you can just work back and forth with that as much as you want to get the intensity that you like. If you want to be truly looking like a cyborg, then load on a ton of it. And if you're a little afraid of that, then just go a little bit more subtle with it. Now, I feel like this is a little bit like not blended right up here. So if you have any spots that you feel like are not perfectly blended, you can just go over them with a dry Q-tip. And then I'm just going to pull this across here and reinforce that straight line across. And for the last step, I feel like we could go in with a little bit of the black at the outer corner. So for that, I'm going to use Sigma E47 lid shader. It's a tiny little brush. I'm just going to pick up a little of that. And right at the outer corner, I'm just going to make that super dark and black. And that's also going to kind of set up our wing out there. Then I'm going to go back in with the brush that came with the palette and just blend that out ever so gently. Like you don't want to be spreading it all over your eye. You just want to kind of keep it right where it is, but just diffuse the line. Today I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Fine Liner Ultra Skinny Gel Eyeliner. This is in the shade Cinderella. And I'm going to line above the lashes. Now we want to follow this line and make it really go up. And then I'm also going to tight line. For the bottom lashes, I have Sephora Contour 12-Hour Waterproof Liner in Lavender Fields. This is like a purpley silver. So I'm just going to take that and run it along the bottom lashes. So next I'm going in with my Clinique Pretty Easy liquid liner. This one is in black. You can kind of fake the wing with eyeshadow and pencil liner and not even bother with the liquid liner if that seems too hard, if your hand's too shaky, or if your lid's too wrinkly. Just skip it and just do this. This is enough, okay? Once you get your lashes on, it's going to look great. But I'm going to just bump it up with a little bit of liquid liner for those of you who want to see the liquid liner. So basically I'm just going to follow that line. So there's going to be one that goes straight down like that, and then I'm just going to connect that across and fill it in. I am going to do mascara, but not until afterwards because I'm probably going to use a setting spray, and I don't like to take the chance of wetting my mascara with my setting sprays. If you're going to put on false eyelashes, I guess you would put them on now. I don't really wear falsies. I don't know. I'm bad at applying them, so I'm not going to do it. So let's go ahead with the face makeup. We're going to do our glow from underneath as well as on top because you want to have beautiful, glowy, lit from within looking skin for this. So I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter under my makeup as well as on top of it. So this has like an oversized doe foot applicator. Okay, here she goes. She's already pulled the lights down. Okay, can you stop? Say hi. So we're just going to take this with the big doe foot and we're going to put it where we're going to want to highlight. So mainly on the fronts and tops of the cheekbones. And I like to do like almost a little V around my eye. And then we're just going to blend this with the blending sponge. I feel like we could do some right underneath the eyebrows because I feel like I want a little shimmer there. I'm just going to use the pointy end of the doe foot and just put the tiniest bit right at the arch of my eyebrow. Draw a little bit of line of it above each brow. I'm going to use the pointy end of the blending sponge and just blend that in there. A little bit on the tip of the nose and on the bridge of the nose. And I like a little bit on the center of my chin. And then of course a tiny bit on the Cupid's bow. You don't want to end up with like a sweaty looking lip, but it's nice to just have the littlest glow right at the top of your lip. All right, next let's go in with the foundation. I'm going to use the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet. This is my favorite. It keeps me looking perfect all night long, and of course I love looking perfect all night long, or as perfect as someone my age can. So I generally just take 5 drops out on the back of my hand. We'll probably end up using a little bit more than this, but 5 to start. I'm just going to dot it around my face. And then I'm going to use my Morphe Flat Top Kabuki brush to blend this in. I usually use my fingers, but where I've got the primer on and I don't want to pull it out of my pores, I'm going to use a nice soft brush so that it tends to disturb the primer less that way. And I keep it away from my under eyes because I don't want too many layers of makeup there so that my under eyes won't look too wrinkly. All right, you guys, you know what? Change of plans. I don't really like how this foundation applies with this Morphe brush. I love it with every other foundation on the planet. So you can use your fingers. It goes on perfectly with the fingers, or you can use the Clarisonic with the foundation brush. This works really well because it kind of beats it into your skin rather than swirling it around on the surface. And then, of course, don't forget to bring it down your neck to even everything out. So now we're going to go in with the under eye concealer. I'm actually going to switch it up today and use Lancome Mackie Complete. It's winter, the air's so dry, so I'm going to switch it up to their hydrating formula. This one is in 310 Bisque. 2 dots of that underneath my eye. I'm going to use my finger to just tap it and blend it across, but I'm going to keep most of it over here on the darker side of my eye bag. And I'm just going to blend the tiniest bit out onto this part where like my wrinkles and crow's feet are, because that doesn't need an extra layer of makeup for sure. You just want to kind of brighten this inner corner. See how nice that brightens? And if you want to really carve out your eye makeup, you can put a little bit right here just to really accentuate that upward lift. I'm going to blend that with the blending sponge, just being really careful to bring it down from there. And then any place else that you want to contour, bring some light in. I'm just going to put a little bit right up here. And down the center of my nose. Then I'm going to set my under eyes. I'm going to use the Lawless Loose Brightening Translucent powder. I'm just going to tap a little bit out into the cap. This is a nice flesh colored powder. I tested it yesterday on flashback. It doesn't give flashback. I just dip in a little bit of powder, then I tap it off back into the cap, then whatever's left on there I just press mainly at the inner corner. Again, I don't want heavy powder out here where my crow's feet are because it just makes them look bigger. I am going to drag a little bit across there just to set the under eye concealer, but I'm not doing much. And then the other areas of my face that I like to set are every place that I have texture. So right up here, I'm just pressing the tiniest bit of powder right in there, the fronts of my cheeks. But I don't want to do it on the rest of my face. I still want that glow that we put on from the Hollywood Flawless filter to be coming through the foundation, and I want the rest of my skin to look nice and dewy and luminous. And the brush I use for that is the e.l.f. blush brush. Now we're going to go in with a little more Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. We're going to put some on top of our makeup now. And I'm going to go back in with the blending sponge and just blend a little bit of that right up there to really make that highlight pop. Almost like I had filler today. For our blush and bronzer today, I'm going to use one of my Makeup Geek palettes. I love this one. It's the Flawlessly Ever After palette in Fair Lady. For the blush, I'm using my Morphe E33 Big Fan brush. I'm going to go with the peachier blush. I'm going to start way back by my hairline and just dot it at the top of my cheekbone, bringing it forward. Not all the way to the front of the apple of the cheek. I stop at the outer edge of my eye. You want your blush, again, to add to that uplifted effect, so everything is lifting the face, the eyes up. For the bronzer, I'm going to use this guy in this palette, and this is a Morphe brush from the Vegan Brush Set. I'm going to start up high on my hairline. I'm just going to contour my forehead a little bit. Then I take whatever's left on the brush, and I contour the sides of my nose a little bit, and the bottom, jawbone. Help to sculpt that part of my face. And then I'm just going to take this on like the side edge of the brush, just like that, And that's how I'm going to do my cheek contour. I'm just going to use that side edge of my brush and just do the little cheek contour right like that. And then I'm just going to wipe off whatever is left on the brush and then use that to blend that out. All right, we're coming down the home stretch here. Let's see, we still have to do brows, lashes, and lips. Today I'm going to use Gimme Brow from Benefit. This is shade number 1. So this has brow fibers in it, so it volumizes and glues your brow in place. And look how teeny that little applicator is, so you really can control where you're putting this. So I start at mid-brow and kind of do it against the grain of the hairs to work some of those fibers in there. So you want to coat the back of the hair as well as the front. Of course, if you have any sparse spots, you can fill those in with a brow pencil first. I like the It Cosmetics Your Brows But Better pencil. I should have done that first, but I'm just going to go in right here and fill that in a little bit there, and I'm going to fill it in right in the front here. Okay, first I'm going to curl my lashes. This is the Trim Easy Hold. I don't know if this is available still. I'm going to be using my Estee Lauder Sumptuous Knockout Mascara today. I'm going to do the lower lashes as well. Where I got it on my face, don't wipe it off while it's wet. We're going to wait for that to dry and then it'll come off easier. Since we have a dramatic eye, I'm going to go with a nude lip. So first I'm going to line my lips with Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Naked. I'm going to use my favorite nude liquid lipstick. This is Jouer liquid lipstick in Diamond Walk. All right, and that completes the look. So I am really happy with the way it came out. It really just makes your eyes pop. It makes them look so youthful with that upward sweep at the outer corners. Let me know if you're going to be wearing something from your Sultry palette. What are your favorite shades from the palette to use? So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell while you are down there. So that's it for today's video. Thank you everyone for your time. You know, I always really appreciate your watching. So have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.